I've been sick, and it hasn't been a good time. And at first, I was in denial. I thought I had like allergies or something like that. And boy, was I wrong, because like I feel like I have a full blown man cold now. Roll the intro.
I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone in progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone in affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through them.
Welcome back to another episode of the Problems on Problems podcast. I am your host, Mike Santee, and that light is way too bright, but it's the same brightness as always. I'm just sensitive because I have a man cold. Yeah, I mean, I guess we can talk about it. The idea of a man cold is the idea that, wow, I'm not mansplaining this, but for those of you that don't know, the idea of a man cold is that guys can't handle their symptoms as well as ladies can. I believe it. I wholeheartly believe it, because I've been trying to do like activities throughout the entire week, and it's just not happening. And I feel like it's kind of true. Like, I feel like there might be a thing to it. And so, you know me, I did about like 30 minutes of research just to prepare myself for this episode, to tell you guys about a man cold. And all I could find is that someone took it seriously enough to do some studies. I think Harvard has an article on it. Not like that. It's not like some like peer-reviewed medical journal or anything like that. I think they wrote an article, posted it to their school website or some BS like that. But basically, the study's inconclusive. And by inconclusive, I mean there really isn't much of a difference. If anything, it really just says that estrogen lessens the inflammatory response, which then makes you feel milder symptoms. Yeah, that's a thing. Science. I don't know if it's true or not. I really feel like this eye has just been like quitting on me too, by the way. Like, it's just going in its own direction. Little Harry Styles thing. And I mean, I think, I'm not going to say why I think the idea of a man cold went away, but I will say it gained popularity around 2018-19 and then suddenly disappeared. Mainly because why waste time studying dudes? Really. I'm just saying. We had enough of our time, you know? Time to study other things. But yeah, it was, I halfway believe it. I mean, I don't know enough about anything. All I know is that, no free promo, I'd rather drink tequila, honestly. It more or less just details how men are extra regardless. I mean, very much like guacamole, very much like your sassy friends, but way more complainy and not as tame. I'm not finishing that sentence at all. But yeah, so at first I thought it was a cold. And for all of you guys that are about to start saying like, whoa, watch out, it could be the Delta variant. No, it's not. The only way I know that's not is because if any form of COVID is like what I felt after the second dose of the vaccine, which y'all can see that episode up here or whatever, Pfizer got hands, I would have known by now. I would have been scared by now. But if anything, just some stuffiness like allergy flare-ups and stuff like that. And then after about 3 days, it started to travel down my throat. Pause. It developed into a sore throat, dry, itchy kind of throat, scratchy. All those, and the congestion that I'm hopefully be able to edit out. Except for the nasaliness. And what was I saying? Oh, my symptoms. And so then it just progressed until I think day 3 was probably the worst day. I was trying to like stay awake at work, trying to operate while constantly going to the bathroom. Like, oh my gosh. Like, I don't know if it was like expired cold medicine that I was taking, or if it was whatever sickness I had itself. But golly, so many trips to the bathroom. Why are we doing this, guys? They'll just have me bleed it out next time. I don't need to do anything like that. But yeah, it's no joke. And I mean, summer colds, be it as they may. Ooh, hold on, let me get closer to the mic. Summer colds, be it as they may. I don't even understand that phrase right now. It wasn't fun. So, I mean, I went. I guess the solution to this is I went to the grocery store and the pharmacy and all that stuff, and I like got extra strength cold medicine, which I'm kind of on right now, which makes me think of that one time. I mean, I could hear my mom now being like, "Oh, don't do drugs." Well, I mean, she wouldn't say it like that. She'd be like, "Los drogas." So, I mean, but I did a whole bunch of work with a nonprofit against drugs, so take that for what it's worth. But yeah, I just watch yourselves, guys. Make sure you're taking care of yourselves. Make sure you're hydrating and all that stuff. I know it's a hot boy summer, but we don't need any sick people, any sick boys. I don't like that at all. But yeah, it kind of reminds me of some of my parents doing drugs. And this is a side story I'll tell you guys, and I'll leave it in because I'm literally just like rambling at this point. 8th grade, I was on the wrestling team, and sometime during practice, single leg takedown, I fucked up my elbow. I literally had like a match. What the fuck do they call them? Are they matches? I'm going to say they're matches. I had a match then 2 days later or something like that. And it wasn't like a bad thing. It was like, oh, my elbow's sore. So 8th grade Mike is like, yo, put icy hot on it. When you put the icy hot on it, it won't feel as bad. You can wrestle. I didn't even think about the other implications of this, like the competitive advantage it would give me when you think of like being that close to somebody and you just inhale a handful of icy hot and you're just like, what is this? Like, I didn't think about that part, but I wasn't thinking about that part. I was thinking about like, hey, my elbow hurts, let's do that. My parents saw me rub it on my elbow, and then they gave me a lecture the entire ride home of like why I shouldn't use performance enhancers, because they thought that like eventually it would lead to painkillers. Can we just have a moment of silence for my parents' dreams that somehow thought that me using icy hot in an 8th grade wrestling match was going to lead to painkiller abuse? Let's just think about that for a minute. Cool. But that being said, not addicted to painkillers. Struggling with cold medicine right now, but hey, so goes life. And when I edit this tomorrow, hopefully I'm not sick. This will be 10 times more entertaining. But take care of yourselves. Make sure you guys are doing your thing. I mean, and if anything, if you can get vaccinated, get vaccinated if you want to. Like, far be it from me to tell you what to do with your bodies. All I know is that, like, if you ain't getting vaccinated, I really just don't want to hear any complaining. Like, you ain't really doing your part. So that's that. But we'll take a break. We'll do the wrap up when we come back, because that's the thing. And then we'll get you guys out of here.
P.O.P.
And we're back with the great debate last week. And I'm going to try and forget I'm going to try and ignore my sickness while I talk about this. Last week, I asked y'all, do y'all wash your feet? And it came from celebrities not washing themselves, people talking about not washing their souls. And I asked you, do you wash your feet? Do you go in the shower? Do you wash your feet? I don't know how else to explain it to you. Do you wash your feet, or do you let soapy water run down your body and eventually, like, just you stepping in soapy water cleans your feet? That's all I want to know. And 71% of you said that, yes, you clean your feet. And thank the Lord Jesus. Because the 29% of you, I can only imagine that it's just got to be like a, hey, you think that soapy water is just doing a good job. And you know what? I've been there. I've thought so too. But, like, Do you just run your dishes through soapy water? You don't scrub them? You don't think about them like that? You think your feet... Is it because your feet are so far away from you and they're like not near your mouth and things like that you just disregard them? Your poor metatarsals. Metatarsals. Your poor metatarsals and your bones and your heels and your toes. Why are you cleaning your feet? Like, I don't get it. I mean, if you're in a rush, if you got to save water, cool, but like, it's not. Cleaning your feet is twofold beneficial. Firstly, you are cleaning your feet. Let's take that. All right. You're cleaning your feet. Secondly, you're working on your mobility. You know what it is to get down to foot level, to your toes, whether it's like pulling your feet up, reaching down, whatever it may be. You gotta constantly work on your mobility if you're constantly washing your feet. Like, this is just a real easy way to make sure you're still staying limber and that you got all your muscles and your joints moving the way they're supposed to be. I'm just trying to help y'all out. Clean your feet. Lávate los pies. Los pies. Lávate los pies. I was too worked up. I ain't got no energy for that. I'm glad that 71% of you guys do wash your feet. 29%. You know, I could deal with 29%. Now that I know who you guys are, I'm going to say this. I'm glad that it doesn't matter if I know you guys or not, because your feet will never be that close to me. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with your life choices. Like, you decide to clean your feet or not, or, you know, tap dance through your soapy water, high step and doing your thing, but at least your feet won't be near me. So I'm cool with that. I'm okay with that. And that brings us to this week's debate, which is really, I don't even think it's a debate. I really think it's more like a check-in. I just want to know, are y'all having your hot girl or hot boy summer? Like, have y'all been enjoying that? Have y'all been doing that? Because this big old bitch named Delta variant is coming out and is threatening to shut the whole thing down. We might go into lockdown again. Like, New York already went from being like outside to now requiring proof of your vaccination to enter local facilities, indoor and outdoor, I think, or local indoor. We'll say indoor ones. It don't matter. I don't live there. We've had 2 months of summer. It feels like August is basically almost over at this point. And with the Delta variant coming out, it's threatening to shut everything down. So have you guys been living up to your hot girl / hot boy summer potential? That's this week's question. We'll find out more next week when I'm on my way down to Savannah. But yeah, let me know. Holla at your boy. Let me know what's good in the polls and the comments and all that jazz, and we'll come back and talk about it next week. But with that, we move over to the Friday follows. What happened this week on the Friday follows? The first follow, the first Friday follow goes to the Mecklenberg Reserves. This is the supporters group for the Charlotte Independents. Gotta love it. Charlotte Independents, a USL team local to Charlotte, playing in the newly renovated American Legion Memorial Stadium. It's looking nice, but the Mecklenburg Reserves, they're out there cheering them on, pushing them over to victory, supporting them when they lose. If you want a local supporters club at the ground level, at an intimate level, at a very intimate level, make sure that you go follow the Mecklenburg Reserves at Mech Reserves on Instagram. The next Friday follow, it brings me great joy and great pride to bring you this Friday follow. It is con Ganas Clothing. Berto, if you haven't seen him on multiple things that I've done, whether it be questionable content, problems on problems, just a few episodes ago, he hosted an entire meetup for models, photographers, videographers, and the like. Man has been in the game, in the entrepreneur game, for a year now, and is really just doing bits out here in photography and entrepreneurship. And now he's going to start a clothing brand, Con Ganas Clothing. So make sure you go follow them at Con Ganas CLT on Instagram. Make sure to show them some love. Very proud of you, dude. Keep doing bits. Keep moving. You're motivating everybody. But with that, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the podcast channel. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Problems on Problems Podcast, at problems_pod on Twitter. And per usual, follow your boy at Mike Santy 18 on all social media. Like I always say, guys, if it's not a good time, hope it's a good story, and I will see you next week.